Aloha, folks. Right now I'm at Richardson Beach in Hilo, Hawaii. I just met this beautiful young lady named Rosina, and she is from New Zealand. So Rosina and New Zealand kind of go together very well. And how did you get to the Big Island? I mean, what brought you here? What was your adventure?
Kia ora, aloha. My name's Rosina, as you know, and I am staying here with my granddad in Hilo on the Big Island. But actually, the reason I came here is right before I arrived, I went to New York to the UN with a delegation from the World Student Christian Federation. And we were going to this conference, a 10-day conference called the Commission on the Status of Women, which is basically government representatives getting together to discuss women's issues. And this year the issue was eliminating and preventing violence against women and girls.
And hold on, just a second.
Yeah?
Now, is this with the United Nations?
Yes, this is the United Nations.
Wow, so you were actually at the United Nations with a delegation.
Yeah, I was.
And did you present this to all these different countries?
Well, basically, there's lots of non-governmental organisations that meet outside of it and have a whole separate kind of, they have events and stuff that they organise. So we were part of that. Our delegation was part of a group called Ecumenical Women. And so we were part of that and organising our events, but we were also able to go into the UN and we were allowed to talk to government representatives to influence basically what they agreed in the final conclusions. So that's where I was before, and I guess I just came here as a recovery from that.
And how do we get more information? Is there a website?
You can find more about the World Student Christian Federation online. Just Google the World Student Christian Federation. And if you want to learn more about the CSW, that's the Commission on the Status of Women, they also have a website.
And now that you're on the Big Island and that you're recovering from your trip, are you having a really nice time?
It's fabulous. I just been snorkeling today, so that was great. There's lots of amazing tropical fish out there. You should definitely come here.
And while you're here, have you been able to see any turtles?
I've seen some turtles in the water. I haven't been in the water with them, but they're pretty cool.
Well, that's great. But you also love New Zealand, correct?
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about New Zealand.
Well, it's this beautiful place. It's true. There are there's amazing wildlife, amazing raw places to visit. There's cities as well as like forests and countryside, and basically think Lord of the Rings and you're there.
And real quickly, have you always been a Christian?
No, actually, I became a Christian 4 years ago, and I got baptized 2 years ago. And it was a really important part of my journey.
And how did you become a Christian?
How did I become a Christian?
What was the reason for it?
Actually, the reason is probably because of a couple of my really good friends who were just always there for me, and I knew they were Christian, and their faith really seemed to feed who they were as people and help them be really strong. And I guess just one day I just realized that God was there for me too.
So basically, yeah. Did you invite Jesus into your life? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I was watching a performance put on by a Christian group, and they kind of asked, if you haven't invited Jesus into your life, and if you feel compelled to do it then. And that really moved me at that time. And it wasn't so much as a big change, it was more a realization that God had always been working in my life. And so, yeah, that realization that it wasn't a complete change, it was that I was just recognizing that.
And you realize that we're all going to die.
Yeah.
And
we're all going to die.
And you realize that, and you know that you have a soul.
think I already knew those facts, but connecting it to God was,
And you know that there's a better place in the afterlife than here on earth.
yeah. And I also believe that we need to be trying to bring that in our lives, showing that in our lives today as well. Like it's here and now and elsewhere.
And how did I come into your life?
Well, I just saw you giving a little talk up here and I overheard you. And then we just stroke up conversation. So it's really good to meet you, John.
Well, it's nice meeting you. Take care.
You too.
God bless.
God bless.
And aloha.